Welcome back, Mark here at ExoticCar PlayPlace. And have I got a little treat for you today? So I've got some people that have been asking me, do you think it's good value buying this car or that car or the other car? And these cars that they're asking me tend to be used machines, used Ferraris or used Porsches or a used Lamborghini. And, do I consider the reliability of those cars to be a major deciding or decision-making factor? Obviously, when you buy a used luxury car or a used exotic car, the fact that it's got some miles on it is a big factor. You also wonder what the maintenance history looks like. That's a huge factor. So at the end of the day, what is the biggest factor here? Do you think there's value in buying a used car, or is it always better to wait and buy that car new? Well, I have a theory on this. I'm not a fan of buying new. That's me. Anybody here can easily argue the fact that the new car is the way to go because you have warranty, it has 0 miles, and its chances are it's going to be more reliable. I totally agree with all of those functions. It's definitely going to be more reliable. I would almost guarantee that. Then if something does break, it's going to be a smaller cost to repair. So it's not going to be the issue to deal with because the dealer's going to be basically picking up the cost. So at the end of the day, what is the best way to go? Again, I've got recent videos where people have criticized, the fact that, if you've got the money, you should just buy new, or if you've got the money, you shouldn't worry about the costs of buying a used vehicle. You know what? I actually had some comments recently where they criticized some comments I had made because, my idea of trying to save money or being smart about not expending extra cash on a vehicle that's used, or doing the research on a car should save me some dollars. Yeah, all of those things are right. If you do the research, you're kind of hoping that you can save yourself some money. If you save yourself some money by buying a car that is well researched, has a good maintenance history, and has a proven track record, yeah, that's definitely a way to go. But I don't care how much inspections you do, how much pile of paperwork you've got from the previous ownership, or any of that other stuff, or how much the dealer can praise that used car. All of those things go out the window as soon as you drive that car off the lot. It's a mechanical piece of equipment. Any car, doesn't matter, new, used, or otherwise. It doesn't matter if it's had oil changes every 1,000 kilometers. It doesn't matter if it's had all the critical parts that typically break on that car replaced. It does not matter. What matters is this day forward. So what is really the one thing you can bank on? The one thing you can bank on is the fact that a car will need repairs and the car will need maintenance. Again, whether it's new or used. So in my opinion, is there value in buying the new car or the used car? Well, in my opinion, the used car. Why? Well, because again, referencing some of these previous videos and comments that I've actually heard from some viewers, what you can actually find is that you go out and buy, and I'll give you an example, a Lamborghini Gallardo 2005. The car was just shy of $300,000 Canadian, okay? $300,000. Great. That's a lot of money. So, yeah, you get warranty. Yes, you're good for the first 3 years or whatever that warranty was back in the day. So that's great. If things break on your way out the door, that'll be covered. That's why they give you warranty, because they know their odds are good. They know their odds are minimal to actually have that car come back in to repair something substantial. That's why they give you a guarantee of non-failure is really what that boils down to. What you actually have to consider though is that depreciation. And again, everybody to each his own. My personal take on this, you can find a 2005 Lamborghini Gallardo today for in and around, sometimes a little less, sometimes a little more than $100,000 Canadian. Now, $300,000 to $100,000. What does that difference look like? Well, that's $200,000. Notice my math. I'm not a mathematician, but I'm good enough to understand that much. $200,000. You can do a lot of research online and you can discover what are some of those maintenance costs. A clutch job on that car, you're talking about $10,000. And that's probably the most common wear feature on that car. Brakes, you know what, you might spend 5 grand. Tires, if the car showed up bald, you might spend another couple grand. Even if the engine blew, you can find engines online already, because there's been many cars wrecked. You can find a used engine that's in good shape with low kilometers for in around that $50,000 to $70,000. That's if. These engines have proven to be fairly robust, but that's the big if. So you've got a huge margin for failure. So that $300,000 down to $100,000, you have $200K to play with. If you blew an engine and you blew a clutch every 2 years and you put tires on it every other month, just think about that margin of error and that failure. Another classic car that I can use as an example is a Bmw M5. Another car that I have. Same thing there. That car brand new was $130,000. Well, now you can find a decent one for $30,000 to $40,000. Think about that margin. That buys you a lot of repairs. Nobody wants to take on those repairs, I agree. And chances are, most of the people that are buying these cars buy them at the used second-hand place. Why? Because they don't have that $300,000 or they don't have that $130,000 to buy that car. So they buy it at either $100,000 or they buy it at $35,000. So maybe they're not in that range. However, just give that food for thought. At the end of the day, if you've got the money and you choose to maybe back off and say buy something slightly used, don't consider that necessarily a bad move. That is actually, in my opinion, a fairly decent maneuver, because like I said before, that actually buys you a lot of buffer for error, a lot of repairs that may or may not happen, and at the end of the day, it's a gamble. No difference than buying life insurance, no difference than buying insurance on your car or your house. It's a gamble. You're paying for that insurance. Therefore, a new car, a large part of that is you're paying for that insurance, which is your warranty. So I hope you liked the video. Thanks again. Please come back, subscribe, like, and comment, and enjoy all my other videos. Thanks again. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.